Hey, Angela, ever noticed how the colors in your church change? Some churches do it with banners. Sometimes the colors on the communion table change. And maybe that thing that the ministers wear around her neck, what's that thing called?
I think it's called a sash or a stole. A stole. Sometimes it's purple or white or green and sometimes even red. But why?
It's called liturgical colors.
Why?
Liturgical, like the word liturgy. It comes from two Greek words, public and working. It's been called the work of the people. It's what Christians do in services of public worship.
Oh, like prayers and sermons and confessions and readings?
Right, and the order we put them in. The liturgical year is the calendar that the church follows. Like we always celebrate Christmas on December 25th, or how Easter Sunday is always the first Sunday after the full moon, after the spring equinox.
Seriously? That's how we determine Easter every year? Weird.
Yep, watch for the full moon. The colors match the liturgical calendar. Telling time in the church year is different from the civic calendar. Chronological time goes in a line from 1 month to the next month and 1 year to the next year. But in the church, time is like a circle. Well, actually, there are 2 cycles in the church year, so maybe more like a spiral or a slinky.
Oh, like how there's Christmas cycle, which includes Advent and Epiphany, and the Easter cycle, which includes Lent and Pentecost?
Exactly. Within each cycle, there's a time of getting ready in which we use the colors blue or purple. Christmas is so important and mysterious, we need 4 weeks to prepare for it. Easter is so significant and hard to wrap our heads around that we need 6 weeks to get ready for that one.
Blue and purple are colors for penitence and royalty, which I guess is why we're doing them for Advent and Lent.
Right. Then there's a festival season that is the color of white and gold.
These colors represent joy, so it makes sense that we would use them for Christmas, Epiphany, and Easter.
You don't really need me to explain this to you, do you?
Not really. The color red symbolizes fire, which is why we use it for Pentecost. But what's green for?
There's a big portion of the year called ordinary time.
Ordinary time? That's kind of silly, isn't it? Why would we call it ordinary time?
Most time is ordinary. Nothing really special going on. But that's often when God chooses to work and when spiritual growth happens, kind of when we least expect it. So green is the color that represents growth and life.
Fascinating. So there are essentially a whole bunch of colors that we have to use throughout the year to help us celebrate the different seasons we have in the church.
That's right. Blue for Advent, white for Epiphany, purple for Lent, gold for Easter, red for Pentecost, and green for ordinary time.
So you're saying that these colors aren't used to restrict us, but to help us remember the seasons and think creatively about the church year. And creativity in worship is always encouraged.
And it's fun. Dressing up the church for each season. Well, maybe not all at once, and maybe not in 40 degrees. Okay?